have the avenues to do so, but they have to execute. Tinker. This match will be played by Tail in the mid lane. Ogre Magi being played by Baga, or Old Baga. Sand King is going to be handled by Sora. I don't get those nice names since I'm not in the lobby. Dazzle is going to be played by Caffertato. And then finally, 365 on the Juggernaut has already got one of those mangoes. Lonelyboyz on the Radiant side. They're going to have Heron Mark on the Kunkka. He was hanging out yesterday. God's Hand playing the Invoker. We've got a Slardar played by Enough. Our support Oracle this time is going to be Adrian, or Adrian, if you want the more Americanized pronunciation. And then finally, Ulfsar is going to be played by N-Planer. So we'll get into this one. We've got the horn sounding as the heroes go for the rune spots. God's Hand, he's going to pick up the one bottom. And is there anything going to go on here? Maybe they're able to catch on enough. Does he get the rune? Of course he does, because he got the crush onto 2. And he's going to make it out with his life and his money. And he's going to rob the bank of the Dire. So Tail goes over to the mid lane. He's got a nice block happening here from the Ogre Magi. Gives him a little bit of control of the lane, but I believe the Radiant block was slightly better, and they're going to meet a little bit closer to that side of the map. But the range creep does die, so it kind of offsets this, and it is actually denied by the Tinker, the first deny of the game. So there you go. Usually you won't see an Invoker get out last hit by a Tinker. Tinker's a lot slower, I think. And yeah, generally you don't have to worry as much as an Invoker unless there are ganks coming in. 365, just going on top. Wow! Okay. Sure. Heron Mark takes the first blood on Ogre, and they're going to try to chase down Sand King. N-Planer slowed down by that Caustic Finale, but it's a little bit too deep for them, and the Torrent misses. Wow. This is just like how brain dead I am sometimes, just missing silly kills like that. I definitely should have expected that one, but now Kunkka nets the first blood here for Lonelyboyz. It's at least we're able to see that he got it. Is one good thing. Tinker against, ooh, what's this? Yeah, Sora's just going in here. With the Caustic Finale, can be doing some nice damage to the Ursa. Ulfsar, his challenge though is going to be getting close to the creep wave. Oh, Burrow strikes forward, and he doesn't have his stem storm just yet. N-Planer, he's trying to chase him down, wants to keep those Fury swipes on him. And Heron Mark will chase him down. Maybe he gets to deny himself. He doesn't want to give him the opportunity. He goes over towards the left, and it's a nice easy kill. N-Planer also gets away from the Ogre, and it's another kill on the bottom lane. That's 2 already, and they get it on 2 different heroes as well. They're just shutting them down here, giving their Ulfsar a great start, although he's still level 1. Now is level 2. Ooh, over at the top lane, Enough. He gets a little bit harassed from the Poison Touch, but he's still pretty tanky and completely fine. Out of regen, but he's still doing well here as a Slardar, getting some nice levels at level 3 right now. With the Invis rune, Heron Mark doing a little bit of scouting. You can see him in behind the enemy lines here, getting some nice vision thanks to an Observer ward. See if they're, oh, nope. There, he's actually underneath the sentry. So they use that sentry there, and he gets chased away. So they know that the Kunkka is now walking around with the Invis rune. Caffertato looking for the initiation on the Slardar. Slardar does have to be careful here. Poison Touch could slow him down exactly at the wrong time. He has a sprint available, also a crush. 365 going forward a little bit, but they just keep getting chased around. Don't want to get hit by the crush here and waste your mana. So just some more harass from Dazzle. And Enough deciding that it is time to go. He's going to get a crush on the Caffertato, looking if he can try to find the kill. Caffertato doesn't have a grave, and Juggernaut's coming over, chasing the Slardar away from his support. And he kills himself to the neutral creep, just to get back to base, get some of that mana and health back, so he can feel a little bit better here. Tail moves up. God's Hand trying to heal up. Does have the Sunstrike if he ends up needing it, but coming around from the backside is Baga. He's ready with the gank. Ignite and the Bloodlust. He's actually going to move forward, going for a Cold Snap on the tail. Can he get enough damage? He's got that armor being decreased, but they're going to turn around. God's Hand forced into the Fairy Fire. He's getting chased away by Old Baga. Can he get the last hit? No, he cannot. Just not enough damage, and Invoker gets away with just about 40 health. Over at bottom, another kill for the Radiant side. While all that was going on, they get another one there. And who was this time? Oracle killed Sand King. So he immediately gets back. Burrow Strike actually misses. Orsa's so happy to go into this. Still no Sandstorm. That's another death on the Sand King. Absolutely losing his life and almost tilting at bottom. It's just a situation where the Sand King, he wants to be very close to the lane. He wants to try to get some of the farm, but not leveling the Sandstorm, it doesn't even force the Radiant side to go for any type of detection. It's just so easy for them to get kills there. And without his supports or anything, it's a lot easier to kill him. And Ulfsar at this point, his farm is at phase boots and level 4, nearly 5. He's not scared of basically anything right now. His team has 4 kills, and they're looking pretty good in game 1 here. Talked about how the mechanical skill might be a little bit better for the Dire side, and I'm not really seeing that right now. The Tinker's beating out the Invoker, but other than that, you don't really see the advantage that we thought T-Show might be having here. It has been a while since they played in the JDL. They basically finished Division 1 and then were knocked into the 1-2 playoffs and haven't played since then. So that was before TI. And they haven't been playing in JDL since. I'm sure they've had scrims and practice or something, but there's nothing really that's a substitute for playing real matches. Cold Snap on the mid lane tail. He gets X'd, brought back in by the Oracle. It's so easy to kill him there, and an Invoker finishes it off, standing in the March of the Machines for the kill. Over at bottom, Ursa, Ulfsar in a ton of trouble, tries to turn around looking for Sora, but the costly finale damage just way too much. Torrent, it will hit. Does he kill Sora? Oh, needed to get in range for the Tidebringer. Could have hit this creep right there, but now he's going to get it turned around him. Oracle comes in with the Fortune's End. I know that spell. Comes in with the Fortune End and is able to end the fortune of Sand King at bottom enough. He gets his item from the courier, but unfortunately it was not enough to keep him alive. And Juggernaut finds a kill on top, his first one of the game. So that'll bolster up his farm a little bit here in 365, putting on a little bit of a show as he's at the top of the last hits board right now. A T-show, if you will. Haste Rune for Vaga. Dropping down the March of the Machines from mid lane. Tail wants to push this one in. God's Hand, he knows that the Ogre is here, but he's not really moving back right now. I think he must at some point. But the Dire Hero is just going to back up, keep the farm on the Tinker. 500 gold on him. A quarter of the way to his Boots of Travel, if he decides to pick that up. Bounty Room will help him on the way there. But T-Show, after a not so good start, are managing to find a couple of kills here. Sora, he's going to have to Burrow Strike away. Can the Oracle find the kill? He's healing up, and he's got a Burrow Strike. And he's deciding not to use it for quite a while. Sunstrike. Oh no, just misses him by inches. But Endplaner's chasing him down. Has a slow if he wants it. Sora, he's got a Burrow Strike in too. And they're trying to chase him down. They just do not have the range, do not have the damage. And Sora's going to sit there on the high ground, neat and pretty on the mid lane. Torrent goes through. Tail trying to back away. We've got the X bringing him back in. And Endplaner, he might have missed the Sand King, but he's going to find something else. A couple more hits on the Caffertado, but they don't have the damage. And Endplaner not having the Enrage anymore, wasting it on the wasted it on the Sand King. It's gonna be forced back, looking for the Dazzle. Comes in from the backside, slam the ground, man. Decides not to, and he should find the kill, and he does. Now old Baga has to back up. This is Lonelyboyz going absolutely ham on them, misses the Torrent just by a little bit, and the Bloodlust helps him get away a little bit more. Sora healing up thanks to the fountain, goes back into the lane. But they're too far away at this point, and Tinker's rockets just fizzle and go nowhere. While all this is happening, the Juggernaut continuing to farm on the top lane. Slardar just kind of sits there, almost taunting him, wondering if he can take the tower. Would be a nice tier 1 tower for the Dire side. Not really worrying that he has amplified damage on him right now, since there's really no damage going on to him at all. Destroys the tower. Oh, gets hit by the Crush. And he does have a Mango if he decides to go for an Omni Slash on Slardar at any point. I would think that if the Slardar goes into sprint, it would probably be a good time to go for an Omni Slash there, but just wasn't able to get it. And well, if you stick close to the creep wave as well, it's pretty easy to stay alive as a Slardar. Ursa, Ulfsar makes his way to Phase Boots and a Morbid Mask. So he's doing pretty well on the farm here. Has a couple of kills. 3-1-4, making his KDA look like pie. And I think we have a smoke here. Ogre Magi leading the way. We've got a Sand King here as well. They have the epicenter level 6 on the Sand King. They're going to try to make their way towards Ulfsar. Maybe they also find Adrian. Oh, Burrow Strike onto Ursa. And there's the epicenter. So much damage, but it's going to be a nice false promise. And he pops the enrage, meaning that most of the epicenter damage isn't really going to do too much to him. He is actually going to try to turn this around, and he has healed up. Sora, he's got this shallow grave, but that is exactly the point of it. It's shallow and is not going to get him away from the purifying flames. Now they're trying to chase down Caffertato. Enough coming in with the sprint. It's going to run out pretty soon. And, well, they try. Ooh, they do. What a play. They put the purge on him, and they knock him out. Wonderful play by the Oracle, just being so smart and giving him a little bit extra range with the purge. They kill the courier, they kill the Tinker, and they might be getting this tier 1 tower at mid as they just go straight in here. So much of an advantage here for Lonelyboyz, 11-2. And they just want to keep going onto the tier 1 tower. This would be the first one of the game for them. And, well, maybe they also find old Baga. Oh, Cold Snap nearly keeps them in range of the torrent, but it's off the mark. And, well, they're going to leave the tower right now, even though they had all 5 members on the mid lane. Looking a little bit low on mana and health. Ulfsar going towards the Roche pit. You definitely think that he wouldn't be silly enough to go for Roshan like that, especially when it's pretty obvious that there should be some kind of dire wards there. It's 365 trying to back away from a sneaky Slardar, looking for some kills inside the jungle. He's going to try to spin to win here, and after this would be a great opportunity for Slardar to go for something, and he's looking for the crush. He's looking for the crush. He's looking for it. He'll go for it. Sunstrike is there, and of course they killed the Juggernaut. Great teamwork, and a very simple kill in theory, but at least they execute it. And there is nothing that can't be said for execution there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Heron Mark looking for Sora. Maybe he gets an X marks. He'll put it on the Sand King. He also has a boat. Backing away, he's got the Slardar here as well. The Burrow Strike comes through. He's got the Torrent, Sunstrike, and the Crush. Easy kill on the Sand King, even throwing a boat right on top of his corpse, as if that weren't enough. 13-2 for Lonelyboyz. Man, T-Show, they just took way too much of a hiatus, and it doesn't really seem like they're taking this match too seriously at all. Their Sand King fell flat on his face. He has Epicenter up again, but there's just no opportunity for him to be able to use it. And their Tinker, he's working on it, but he's still only halfway to his boots of travel. God's Hand on his hand to Midas. Almost a blink dagger for Slardar. That would be even more aggression that they can use towards the Tinker. And they want to come in here. X marks, not in range just yet. They're going to have to go faster. Looking for a Torrent. Cold Snap's going to bring him back. They can't lose their Tinker here. The laser on God's Hand pulls him back into the Sunstrike. And an Omnisash gets used, so they don't have the Invoker for anything else here. Adrian trying to back up. He's got a False Promise. Is he going to decide to use it? He actually uses the Fate's Edict on himself, healing himself up. The Torrent's going to lift 365 up into the air. Now over towards the Ancients. Oh, the boat! It's going to hit. Mega kill streak for Heron Mark, and now they chase down Ogre Magi. They really want him. They'll have a crush in 1 second. Do they hit it? Do they need to? Just stuns up enough, and well, he doesn't even get a chance to get it off. Another kill here for T-Show, but here comes the Epicenter. Burrow Strike on Aura, but do they even kill him? He's just going to go right onto Sora. He's got the amplified damage down, brought right back into the Torrent. It's 4 kills on the mid lane, an absolute massacre. Lonelyboyz, 13 minutes in, and they are unstoppable, running right over T-Show. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Ulfsar takes the tower bottom. He's not even killed Roshan yet, and he's on 20. Oh my god, 2,800 gold. Someone should tell him to spend some money, pick up his Blink Dagger, which he does. And this is where this might be what you call the beginning of the end. Lonelyboyz really taking it to T-Show. It's not over just yet. T-Show have a couple of ways that they can get back into it, and it's definitely going to have to rely on some awesome team fights from them. Tinker absolutely has to get his boots of travel, but the aggression does not stop. Crushed up, amplified damage, and a Torrent. He'll get a shallow grave, but just the Slardar all over his face. The rest of his team, they can't go anywhere. 2 kills down. Tinker down for 40. Dazzle's just out of here, and Ulfsar, he's going to roar into the air, just daring anyone to try to stop him. Goes right for Roshan. Epicenter not for another 40 seconds. He does have Burrow Strike. Uses it to get to the high ground. Do they know about this? Yeah, they go. Oh no. Slardar right on top of the Sand King says, this is my cliff. You don't belong here. And they're also going to take the Roshan on the back of the damage from Ulfsar. Pretty standard at this point. Oh, kill stolen by Adrian. But in the end, they just keep going, man. Whoa. Another Blink Crush. Tail in so much trouble. Sunstrike is just another easy kill for Lonelyboyz. Nothing that the Dazzle can do. Goes for a Poison Touch, but what he needed was the Grave. Instead, it's Tinker that gets sent to his grave. And finally, this Tier 1 tower might be in some mortal peril.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dazzle just kind of sticking around, seeing if there's any chance that he's going to be able to work with his team to find something here. But it should be an easy tower. Lonelyboyz are just so far ahead. It's almost 3-2-2, and we're just so like so early in this game that it's definitely going to be a lot more than 3-2-2 at this point. Juggernaut's still working on his farm. He's got a Yasha. He just picks up an item. Oh, what did he end up buying? He's got an ultimate orb from the secret shop, but here comes Heron Mark. He might have stepped into a sticky situation. Nice false promise from the Oracle, keeping him alive for a little bit longer. They've lost Sora. The boat comes through. It doesn't actually hit on the Juggernaut, and his Omni Slash is going all over a couple of heroes. They need to try to get him. They're trying to go through the spin. He's got the amplified damage on him. Here comes the Ulfsar Bear chasing down 365. They're going to keep going. He's moving pretty fast enough. He's moving fast as well, and is he able to get the hit? He's underneath the tower. Whoa! 365 just turns around, slashes him with the sword, but Endplaner says, my claws are just as good as your sword. And he takes down the Juggernaut there. It's not going to be 3-2-2 no longer. But Lonelyboyz still putting so much hurt on the T-Show, and something that I kind of missed. This Juggernaut, he's at the top of the net worth right now, even with all the kills that Lonelyboyz have. He's just sticking up there. He's got a Manta Style and the Phase Boots, but he's really the only person on his team, so I don't see it making too much of an effect right now. But it is impressive that he's managed to keep up with all of the Radiant heroes with the absolute carnage that's been going on around the map. Endplaner, he's got an Aegis, he's got the Mask of Madness, and he does not have a care in the world. Tier 2 tower at 17 minutes. This was not really a lineup that you would say would push that early, but they're just taking the Mickey right to T-Show, and they're taking all of these towers off the map. God's Hand already going for the top one. 2,100 gold for him. And inside the jungle, T-Show, they don't know when to stop. They want to keep going in here. Fortunately, the vision for the Radiant side, it doesn't show them too much, and I believe the Sand King just stayed right out of the vision. Endplaner just throwing his claws at a couple of creeps here. Another tier 1 for T-Show. This net worth lead is out of control. 14,000 in favor of Lonelyboyz, and, well, I don't know if the Lonelyboyz are going to be lonely any longer, as they could find an opponent in the upper bracket final, but they're going to have to get through some more matches right now. 25-4, another kill. It just does not stop coming. It's a never-ending flow for Lonelyboyz. Just so many heroes for T-Show. It's basically a supermarket for them. They can pick heroes off the map, almost like they're in an orchard of heroes just getting picked off of trees. Another tier 2 tower. Oracle did get killed over at bottom. Tier 1 tower nearly down. A little bit comes back into it for T-Show, but they've just lost so much map control, and they're so far behind the net worth. It's going to take a Herculean effort for them to bring it back into this match. Tinker finally has those boots of travel. Oh, have they caught out? Nope. They're not going to catch out Sora. They don't have the vision for it. Whoa, this Kunkka's going for some little crits, man. It's going to be quite a bit of damage that he's doing with those. Ulfsar picks up an Ogre Club. He's probably going to be sick of the blinding laser coming from Tinker pretty soon, so he's going to preemptively go for the Black King bar. And 365 Has to be careful, doesn't want to get into a sticky situation. And the vision here for the Radiant side, they do see a little bit. Juggernaut hides inside the trees, and he has basically no vision here. He has to be so careful. He knows that Oracle is here again, but would they really leave the Oracle out there like a dinner plate 2 times in a row? Probably not. Ulfsar all on his lonesome. Just waiting to see if someone steps up in the mid lane. Tinker's just pushing it out. Very unlikely that that happens. Another Roshan. It's been quite a while, but it will be respawning in about 4 minutes or more. Here comes a smoke from Lonelyboyz. All of T-Show are, well, most of T-Show are bottom though. And they're not seeing too much. Looking to see if they can pick off a Tinker, but he's really nowhere to be found right now. He's just farming up inside the jungle, and the push continues, but now they're going to come in from the backside. Where's the vision here from the Dire side? They don't see anything from the Radiant, and they're going to surround Sora. Can they pick him up? He's actually able to burrow strike away, but they've got their eyes on the prize. They want the Tinker, and they will find him. No running from the Radiant side. Invoker is still top, pushing this tower in. And Lonelyboyz might be thinking about taking the last outer tower of the game. The tier 2 bottom might be in their crosshairs, or it might be a hero, because here they come. They're just running right at the Dire side, and the vision, it's not there. Dazzle maybe getting caught out soon. Oh, a blink forward, a crush from the Slardar, not even a chance for a shallow grave. Now God's Hand trying to TP away will be able to make it out. And 365, ooh, there's the Omni Slash. He's doing a little bit of damage, and Juggernaut uses the Manta Style, and he's actually killed enough. T-Show, they're turning it around. This was a match that was going pretty badly, but Juggernaut is the lodestone for them. Can they actually take him down? Endplaner blinks forward, going right for the Juggernaut. He's got a ton of damage, gets stunned up by the Ogre Magi. Not killed just yet. Sunstrike's going to be there, and it's off the mark only by a little bit. Oracle, he ends up dying. Tinker's on the high ground. Does Sora find anything else? He's got the burrow strike, and he kind of guesses wrong. Adrian moving forward, thinking that he can take down the Juggernaut, but he's going the wrong way. He's in a ton of trouble. Uses the Glimmer Cape, but it's not going to get him out of there. Burrow strike comes through. Adrian is going to become dead for a few times in this game. And T-Show capitalizing on some messy play from Lonelyboyz. And they're bringing back this match. It was only an 1100 gold change after that Oracle kill, but there were a couple of more there, and I have a feeling that the total gold change there was quite a bit more. Juggernaut going for the Battle Fury. Might be a couple of heroes going down on mid. God's Hand moving in. There's going to be a crush on the tail. Can they get a burst strike off? Not in time. Sora now has to back away, and he's got his Blink Dagger coming pretty soon. But he doesn't have it just yet, and they decide not to engage on him any longer. Roshan's still down for a little bit. Heron Mark, he scouts out Sora. He's got an X Mark, will bring him back into it. They don't want to get hit by a Burrow Strike. Torrent's going to be there, but he's able to get the Burrow Strike away. But look at this, Torrent doesn't matter. They still have the Crush from Slardar and enough vision from the amplified damage. They killed the Sand King pretty easily there. Little crits on Kunkka. Kunkka becoming a fighting machine right now. T-Show just giving up even more kills, and they really have to be careful at this point. They cannot give some of those silly kills. They do have a chance to come back into this match. This is Dota, and comebacks are always possible, or nearly always. But T-Show, they have to be on their game for that to happen. They have to really just settle in here and get their stuff going. So Slardar moves forward, and this was, oh, he manages to dodge it, moves forward, which the Radiant side were not predicting. 365, they're thinking about going for Heron Mark, but he thinks that that farm might be better. But the rest of his team, they're there. Tinker blinks forward, trying to TP away. Is he going to make it? He's got the armor toggle. He's out of here. And Kunkka, just being super tanky for the Radiant side, makes it out of that engagement. Sand King still working on his Blink Dagger. Wondering when that's going to be completed. 1850 gold for him. Should be soon, but he cannot take another death. Push comes in bottom. This Juggernaut is he is the glue that's holding T-Show together. They absolutely need him to be on his game, and so far he has been. The only hero on T-Show, I believe that is... Oh no, Ogre Magi has a positive KDA. Over at top, we're going to see a kill on the Sora. I didn't really care, right? pretty obvious the Sand King's going to die there, but he does manage to pick up his Blink Dagger. Very important pickup for him, and he will have his Epicenter when he respawns level 11 as well. So they do have a little bit of damage coming in here, but the damage might not be enough. Push comes in from top. Tinker's going to try to clear it out with the Martian Machines, and it should be pretty easy for him. Throws out a couple of rockets, blinks away, throws down the Martian Machines as well. Trying to use those rockets to clear him out. But without any creeps here, it's a lot more difficult for Lonelyboyz to push this in. And there's going to be some very good burst damage from Tail if they just stay there. Creeps are coming in. Tinker has to TP back. This is the chance for Lonelyboyz. They have to be very quick with this. Creeps are already taking a lot of damage from the Martian Machines, and they might not have a wave pretty soon. Tinker coming in. He's got some more lasers, got some more rockets, has to stay very far away. And the Torrent's off the mark. They can't engage on that. And Lonelyboyz finding it very difficult to break this base. 365 trying to back away from this. It's going to be the Mantis style. Now he uses the Blade Fury to move away. The Sunstrike is going to be off the mark. Get something delivered to him by the courier. It's a timely Blink Dagger. And Ursa doesn't get to the high ground. Crush is not going to be there. And that is the timeliest Blink Dagger I've seen in quite a while for the Juggernaut. The courier will die for its impertinence, but at least the Juggernaut stays alive. Man, what a delivery. That guy should work for UPS or something. They're a little bit better than the people that deliver my packages. Invoker has his Blink Dagger as well, and Aghanim Scepter. Let's take a bigger look at the items. Ursa going for another Roshan. And maybe they can catch something out here. They're looking for the high ground. Ogre Magi's got a 4-staff. Other than that, we've kind of talked about the big ones. Tinker also has a Blink Dagger as well. They should pretty easily take care of the Roshan kill, and they do. So another Aegis on Ulfsar, working towards this next item. It was actually an Aghanim Scepter that he's picking up there, so makes him quite a bit more tanky. Also gives him that Ags upgrade, reduces cooldown. You can use the Enrage while disabled. But T-Show, I mean, take a look at this net worth. It's still around 14,000, but it's not really being shown here too much. Juggernaut still looking very strong, making a play on the tier 2 tower. There's some push going on bottom, but the creeps are just so far away. I mean, they're making their way down the bottom lane, but they're just very slow creeps. They got to get a move on. Sunstrike hits on the Juggernaut. He's got the rest of his team here. Drops down the kitty cat to heal him back up, and those kitty cats are so cute. They just give all their regenerative energy over towards the Juggernaut and the rest of his team. Moving up here in the top lane. I think the Tinker might even be enough to just hold off the Dire side, and while the push is coming in top, the Radiant side just absolutely have to back up. And while Lonelyboyz, they were doing extremely well, it's just they took a couple of bad deaths and they're getting outmaneuvered here. A Tinker is just so good at delaying the game. I might even said a while ago that Lonelyboyz were headed for the winners bracket final, but it's definitely a lot more in question here. End planer keeps going around. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank. Three, 6, 5. Just moving around the map still. He's still got the Battle Fury. 3,000 gold for him. Should have another big item pretty soon, but it just feels like Lonelyboyz. They were riding a train and the train ran out of track. They're just kind of getting derailed right now. 31-8, 28 minutes in. Enough looking for some kills. End planer's moving up. It's still just so difficult for them. Pushing out with the Juggernaut illusions forces someone to be defending the base, and well, enough blinks forward. We'll get the crush on the old bog. He should be going down here. Sunstrike hits, and that's going to be another kill for God's Hand. I still think that this dam has quite a few cracks in it for Lonelyboyz, though. Ursa not blinking towards the Tinker there. Doesn't want to get too deep. And remember, there's also still the blind from him. So he still has to be careful. Invoker has an ultimate orb. I guess that's going to be a Linken's from him. Tinker's still working on some gut items. Just being an absolute nuisance pushing out these lanes. They have to be able to find the kill on him. But Lonelyboyz are just nowhere in the neighborhood. And, well, this Mr. Rogers neighborhood might not be something that they want to be living in right now. What was that? Kunkka just trying to cleave some creep waves? He's got the X going. He's trying to be a Tinker of his own. Whoa! Dazzle takes a crit from the Tidebringer. Very tough. The Kunkka can do things like that. He can be very aggressive. He's got the blink. He's got an armlet. Very tanky. And, of course, he still has the TP scroll. So he's not too scared of a whole lot right now. And maybe they take down Adrian here. Sora's waiting inside the trees. But there is some help here. Does he actually want to try to go for an Oracle kill? As he sees the Heron mark Kunkka get to the lane, I feel like the answer may be no. Oh. Sora finds him and is able to blink away into the trees. No vision here for the Radiant. And again, T-Show are just playing this map where they end up being on basically anywhere except where Lonelyboyz can see them. And they're just creating a lot of space on the map. Look how far these lanes are pushed out. All the way out here on the bottom lane. It was pretty far for top. We're going to see a smoke here from the Dire side, seeing if anyone's farming up in the jungle. It can't be for a Roshan. It's not going to respawn for quite a bit, and Ulfsar does still have the Aegis. The smoke gang going to be a little bit off the mark. And in the top lane, Radiant are still hanging out there. At this point, they have to back up. These creeps are pushing in so far. Lane control is just so difficult for Lonelyboyz. Epicenter coming through. Enough. Forced to use the BKB. Now he'll try to turn around. Juggernaut has to back up. This Epicenter completely wasted. There's going to be the MP Tornado combo. Sora in so much trouble. He is going to be dead. But I don't know if the Radiant can really go through this March of the Machines. Where is that? The Dazzle just being able to TP away. Who's coming in from the backside? End planer. He's been scoured out, though, by a Dire Observer. And the Radiant, they're going to absolutely miss there. Only the Sand King going down and T-Show getting out with everything that they needed there. Old Baga waiting inside the trees. No vision here from the Radiant side. No chance of it. He doesn't have a TP or anything, just a Force Staff. But, man, he's just going to hang out here. Be there for a while. Maybe his team comes to save him. It's still not finding him. He's still there. He's got to be so scared at this point. If he moves anywhere, the Radiant might see him, but at this point they are very far away. Just looking to see if he can just kind of scout them out on the map, and he will just place down the Observer Ward and get away. Caffertato sees Heron Mark. Heron Mark tried to go for it. He's also got the Oracle there as well. He'll be able to use the Grave, and here comes the Cavalry. It's going to be the Tinker. Caffertato even moving up. T-Show going for the fight that they won. Caffertato, no fear, does get cleaned up by the Oracle. No, Kunkka, he ends up going down. That was a beyond godlike string, and Adrian was not able to be interrupted. T-Show, they are turning up the heat on this game number 1. It's 34-9. They are behind by 25 kills. And it's still not enough. Lonelyboyz, oh, they need a bash. They need this bash, and they get it. Huge kill for Lonelyboyz. They take down 3-6-5. And this is one of the few times this game that the Juggernaut just dies in a position where he absolutely could not afford to. So about 32.5 minutes into the game, we've got a pee break. That's not really something that I expected in a game this short. But in any case, Lonelyboyz, they were so far ahead, and if we look at the net worth right now, they are still far ahead. Like it's not even close, except for the heroes. The way T-Show are playing makes it impossible for Lonelyboyz to be able to make any kind of push towards the base, because if they do, they're going to have creep waves knocking on their door with this Tinker, with the Juggernaut illusions, maybe with Sand King doing the caustic finale damage. It's really a nightmare for Lonelyboyz, because they've got everything working in their favor except the creep waves. They absolutely have to be able to pick off some of these heroes. I mean, a little bit ago, I was talking about what T-Show had to do to get back into this game, but now it's looking like Lonelyboyz. They have to be able to to really swing this game back in their favor, and that sounds so weird, being ahead 26 kills. But if it isn't true, man, T-Show absolutely, they're very resilient this match. They're not giving up at all. The game was very far away from them towards the beginning of it, but now it's just so difficult for Lonelyboyz. So it's definitely going to have to be a pickoff in order to swing this game back in their favor. Even though they're so far ahead on net worth, it's really mostly the supports. If you look at this distribution, Juggernaut's at the top, as he has been for most of the game. Tinker's up there as well, and he's really got all the items that he's need. He's even working towards an Aghanim Scepter, which makes it even more difficult for Lonelyboyz to push up to the high ground. This is probably one of the most interesting games that I've casted in a while. I've not really seen anything like this recently. All right, we're gonna get started once again here. Lonelyboyz, maybe they had a little bit of time to talk after that pee break, but still, I mean, I can only imagine what that conversation is like. It's just, guys, we're ahead 35-9 and we can't push. It's so difficult as a team to play against something like a Tinker or a team that split pushes as well as T-Show is this game. Maybe they try to get the Tinker here. They see the... Oh, they're going to get it finally. This is the pickoff that they needed to get back in this game. Amplified damage is going to be there. He'll even use the BKB. Enough really didn't need that. He had the rest of his team coming in for support, but it is an absolutely needed kill on Tinker. And, well, we'll see what Lonelyboyz are able to turn it into then. Roshan still not going to respawn just yet. There's a TP scroll just hanging out inside the base, inside the Roshan pit. And end planer. Moving up, being super aggressive, wants to get this creep wave as soon as possible. They realize that with the Tinker down, this is their chance to go for a high ground push, but he still has buyback, and we'll see if T-Show even need the Tinker here, because, I mean, he is very good with pushing out the waves, but here they go. Going for the high ground. 4-5 is going to get used. The tornado comes out. EMP is going to hit. Not on too much at all, and Tinker buys back, and of course Lonelyboyz have to back up right now, especially with Sand King pushing out top. Again, getting outmaneuvered. Look at this vision here for T-Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wards all over the Radiant jungle. There's basically nowhere here that Lonelyboyz can farm without T-Show knowing about it. They've done a pretty good job of staying away from the jungle. So here comes a smoke. Enough coming in from the backside. He's got the Invis rune. Checking for the Roshan. It would have been great for T-Show if it were up there, but Caffertato and Old Baga, they get their smoke broken. Here comes the fight. And Planer doesn't get hit by the burrow spec. Heron Mark could be taking quite a little bit of damage. He's going to get force staff forward. Now he's going to try to get away. Adrian, force staffs out. Does Heron Mark stay alive? I think he should here. And Epicenter coming through. Adrian's going to pay. End Planer coming in from the backside. We've got the Invoker. Invoker actually ended up dying on the backside of this, and now End Planer's been kind of caught out. The crush goes on to Best Gamers. Best Gamers, he's going to use the spin to try to get away. Ursa's been put up into the sky. Blink dagger in 6 seconds. Blink out by Juggernaut. Has he gotten away? He's not got the amplified damage on him anymore, and there's no vision here from Lonelyboyz. He jukes over to the left. He jukes over to the right, and he's going to go over towards the top rune spot. Wants to pick it up, even though there is no one there. And he's still got those boots to travel, so he hides inside the trees, goes to the high ground, gets up to the cliff. Stays there for a little bit, but he's just going to stick around, and he's gonna stay there. Maybe even gets a pick off. He sees Heron Mark there. Oh no, oh no. Are you gonna get him? He's got the Diffusal Blade. Also the Manta Style keeps Heron Mark there. A little bit more useless of spin to go there as well. Heron Mark in a bevy of trouble. Oh, and the wrong armlet toggle for him there, as well Juggernaut, being super aggressive, sits on the high ground and takes down Mr. Kunkka. Maybe T-Show thinking about going for a Roshan right now. Pick up the double damage rune on Juggernaut. If we look at the vision here for Lonelyboyz. It's a very lonely ward over here, and it's about to expire. Meanwhile, Roshan should be going down fairly soon. T-Show taking their first Roshan of the game, and this is Cheese Roshan. Some nicely aged stuff in there. Oh no! Blinken by the Slider gets the crush, and he's killed the... Oh no, he's killed Roshan. He's got the Aegis. He's trying to go for the Grand Theft, picking up Dazzle with the Tornado. Enough, he might get that Aegis popped right away. He kills the kitten. Someone call the ASPCA, but because this Juggernaut's pet was just mistreated. And Rachel going on for Ursa. He's getting the Omni Slash right down, and that's a huge kill for T-Show. Turning it around enough. Still, no, he's actually got the Aegis pop now. Here comes the Deafening Blast, only hitting on the one. It looks like Lonelyboyz, they're just not able to work around the spread from T-Show, and enough gets cornered in. Ooh, whoa, that's a blink away. Do they pick him off here? He's actually gotten out. Just bides his time, gets the crush, and manages to escape, so they only lose the Ulfsar in that fight after a beautiful Aegis steal by Slardar. 365. Gonna go in with the illusions on bottom. This is just the problem here for Lonelyboyz. At least they have Heron Mark to clear out a couple of these creeps. Just, it's so difficult for them. And, well, Heron Mark, this game was going so well for him. Tornado EMP come. There's also a Sunstrike forcing out the spin away from 365, and he does manage to get out away from the Torrent. But this is actually going to be a push for T-Show. High ground has not even been broken by Lonelyboyz, and T-Show turn around. They're going to try to go for a high ground of their own. Burrow Strike only hits onto the Forge Spirit. Sora underneath the tower. Crush gets hit. He's trying to Force Staff away, but just so much damage from the Invoker. Bow comes through. It only hits onto a couple of creeps. 365 trying to back away right now. There's going to be X in a couple seconds. The Tornado actually brings him up. EMP combo is going to be there. Definitely Bass moves him back a little bit. 365 could be taking the death here, and Tinker, he TPs away. Yeah, Tinker's out. Baga goes down. Triple kill for God's Hand. Lonelyboyz, man, it feels so weird to say it, but they're almost getting back into this match. Ice Wall gets dropped down, and God's Hand goes forward. Oh, the nice Lincoln Sphere blocks the laser, and that's an ultra kill! Ultra kill for God's Hand. They can go for a push right now. This was... T-Show had it in the bag. They want to go for that high ground push, but this is really where the net worth lead is making a difference for God's Hand and the rest of Lonelyboyz. The Lincoln Sphere being such a boon for him, and T-Show, they might have just made a fatal error. Tinker, his buyback is down for another minute and 45 seconds, and the first tier 3 tower of the game may be going down here the way of Lonelyboyz. 2 buybacks, Epicenter is going to be there. They come in, there's a combo. Tornado gonna come through. The boat as well does hit on the Caffertato. Can enough man fight this one. He's got an Omni Slash on him, trying to get away. Also a False Promise is there. Adrian gets helped by the Definitely Blast, and this might be where T-Show, they've lost everything that they need, and Planer needs to stay alive. Burning out from the Ignite, and he is able to go down. God's Hand finishes off the tower, gets hit by the stun from Baga, and, well, Baga gets the kill, but T-Show, they throw in the towel. They're going to call it. The first Rax of the game goes the way of Lonelyboyz, as well as the first game in the best of 3 set between Lonelyboyz and T-Show. What a match! Back and forth. One way, the other way. You thought that T-Show were out of this, but they made such a great fight, and I am so excited for game number 2, where they might not even get that far behind. It'll be interesting to see what T-Show can do if they are in front. And that's not an innuendo, I swear, pulling a slacks there. But thank you all for watching game number 1. Lonelyboyz coming out with the victory. And, man, this is... You guys are in for a ride, because we've got more games coming right up on the JDL season number 10. I'm Pythian. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at PythianLegume, as well as on twitch.tv/PythianLegume. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a few moments. Stay classy.